So here I am back in my favourite place in the world, Porto Pollença, and as you can see the mountains are there to be cycled, and I haven't picked the bike up yet because we've just arrived. We're going to pick up that tomorrow from my friends at Bike Island, Mallorca, which is conveniently just down there. So don't know what we're going to do. I think tomorrow we might be going to the Lighthouse at Formentor, but we'll see. But here we are, and I'm going to enjoy this dinner tonight, early night, and then we're up in the morning for some cycling. Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, and we're now off to pick up the bike. That's the sports shop version there. But I am about to head into one of my favourite places in the world, Bike Island, Mallorca. Here we are, we're heading up Cols del Rates, which is the first climb heading out to the Lighthouse, which is where we're going first today. So maybe do a wee check-in at the top when I can speak, because I'm not out of breath. Beautiful views climbing this hill. And here we are, nearly at the top of Cols del Rates, which is where the viewing point is, very popular with all tourists. And if you're heading to the lighthouse, you go straight on. But first I'm taking a wee right turn up to the pepper pot, which I'll explain at the top. So here we are at the top of what is known as the pepper pot because of this old watchtower up here. And it's a kind of wee separate climb. I think these old buildings here were military buildings at one point, but the locals call it the pepper pot because of the building's pepper pot appearance. Now I'm going to do my touristy bit and point out a few things. So this down here is Formentor. That is a very old and very posh hotel. Prime Ministers and Presidents have holidayed there. Now just round the corner here, sticking out there, is a place called Fortaleza, which is an old fort, but it's used for fancy weddings and stuff. And if you've ever watched either the Mallorca Files on BBC, they did an episode that pretended it was a hotel. And recently, if you've watched Lioness and Paramount Plus, they infiltrate a wedding in series 1 in Mallorca, and that's where it was filmed. What you probably can't see is just on the way up here. In fact, it's soaring down there, but you'll not be able to see it, and I won't be able to do it justice. But there's 3 eagles hovering in the thermals. I can actually see one just now. Absolutely impressive to see. So I'm just going to descend down to back to the top of Cols del Rates at the viewing point, meet up with my friend. I'll film the descent, but just to be careful if you're ever doing this, the road surface up here is not the greatest, unlike the rest of Mallorca, so it's not a descent to be taken at speed. It's a narrow road as well, so just be careful. I'll probably speed it up because I'll be doing it too slow for it to be fun. Anyway, I'll see you at the bottom. Just stop here and give you a wee look. That's the climb up from the viewpoint. You can see all the cyclists and cars coming. It is quite busy at this time of year, but I'll just let that car get in front a wee bit, and on we go. So we're well into the climb road out to the lighthouse. There's never any sharp climbs on it. It's a long, slow climb. And we are just about to come to the famous tunnel, which you'll see in a moment. But this road out here has some of the most spectacular views you will see on a bicycle. My advice, come here in July, although it still can sometimes be 15 degrees warmer. This road from Formentor is actually shut to traffic except from a tourist shuttle bus, so it becomes the best cycle lane in the world. You can see here in April time it's cars. So it is one of the busier routes if you come at this time of year. And let's just say most of the cars are rental cars and the driving is suspect, to say the least. Still worth it though. You know what, take your time, because you're on holiday and the views are worth it. So go slow or slower and just take it all in, enjoy the scenery. So here we go, I'll stop talking now as we go through the tunnel. Your eyes do have to do a wee bit of adjustment because you've been in the bright sunshine and all of a sudden the darkness tunnel. But luckily in the last couple of years they've put some lights in. It used to be in complete darkness, which was a bit scary, but here we go. And there we go, light at the end of the actual tunnel, not the proverbial tunnel. Beautiful though. This is one of the most beautiful stops in the climb out to the lighthouse. Worth stopping just for a look. I think this is Calafiguera that's down there, but coming in the summer there's big yachts floating in the blue. But what a spectacular place for a wee picture and a wee selfie. Just let you drink that in. And there's the tunnel back there, that's the rock we came through. Just waiting for my friend to catch up and then we'll head on to the lighthouse. Beautiful place. So here is where you're going to see why it's better to come here in July. It is Carmen. at the Lighthouse now. Word of advice, bring your own juice. Just bought 2 cans of juice for me and my pal there, €9.80, ridiculous. There's some cracking views up here, including that very, very steep one down to the sea. There's a couple of boats. I'll just take you out here. You maybe recognise some of the scenery here. It was in a Tom Hanks film. It was the background at one part in a film called Cloud Atlas. But what a view. And if you're on my Instagram, you'll notice my top 3 pics of this scene. Amazing view. There's the road down, and there is the Formentor Lighthouse as well. So I'm going to head back into Port Pollença and see what we do after that. Back at the viewing point at top of Colesdale Raids. Just waiting on my friend coming, and then we'll head back down into Porto Pollença. I'll film that for you. It's a lovely descent with great views into Porto Pollença. So just to prove it's not all hills and climbing in Mallorca, you've got this. I'm extending my loop today. We're just riding in and out among all the farmland and the fincas out towards Alcudia and back. You can see how green it is and lovely. Switch the camera around, you'll see if you come here you get beautiful flat cycles and countryside you can do as well. There is something for everybody here. But I'm just finishing off the ride for today. It was just a wee 30 kilometres, pretty much over there where those lumpy bits you can see are not as far in or up them. But beautiful wee roads, so you don't have to be a hill climber to come here and enjoy Mallorca. But we'll get back in the bike and I'll film some cycling. just stopped here for a wee break. I thought you might be interested. This is Old Town Alcudia. As you can see, there's castle ramparts. There is market days where you can go inside the old town. It's quite interesting and it's beautiful. In my opinion, much nicer than actual Alcudia, which is a bit high-risey. But it's a nice place to stop and easy to get to from Porto Pollença, especially along the beachside path. Anyway, on with the journey. Now, I've just went through a wee town called Bonaire, which is in the other side of the Bay of Pollença, which you can see in front of me. It is another dead end. You can see the gates up there. You used to be able to go further last time I was here, and it takes you to quite a foreboding entrance into a tunnel. But it is a military zone, so they've obviously moved that back. You used to be able to go right up into the gates of the tunnel, but obviously they've stopped that. It's worth coming across here just for this view, especially if you've cycled already, because there's Pollença there, and this is the whole of Cap de Formentor out in front of you. It's a beautiful view. Right in about there, that's Formentor, and then obviously sticking out there, that's Fortaleza. And then we're going to head back down along the bay along here. It's a great cycle track along here. I'll put it on the film. You see lots of kite surfers and stuff, but what a beautiful view. It's worth coming out here just for that. So there is a tiny wee climb up to here. It's short, so you'll be fine. Again, looking down there, there's another bird of prey just flying in front of us there. Amazing place. Anyway, back on the bike. We'll get back to Pollença and finish our day. So here we are, end of day one, back in Porto Pollença. It's been a good day out, it's loosened the legs, just shy of 50 miles today. Going for a longer one tomorrow, but all that's left to do now is upload the obligatory Instagram videos, get a wee can of Estrella, dinner, and get ready for tomorrow. Day one, finished.